Music has always been a way to influence our emotions. It's always been a very big part of storytelling. For example, and this is one of the most famous examples, Pixar Studios, they use music to stimulate emotions within their audience. Mostly those emotions are depression and a whole lot of tears because they're a bunch of sadists. I'm kidding, Pixar. I really love your stuff. But back to music though. Not only does it influence our emotions, but also our memories. And that is what Across the Grooves is all about. Using music and a magical record as its medium, it makes the main character, Alice, and the player experience and change memories each time the record is used. This is the main plot device that drives the story forward and affects Alice's relationships with other characters, the organizations that want to get their hands on the record, as well as the outcome of multiple characters' pasts and futures. I'm not someone who knows a lot about music or its industry. I'm mostly just a listener and a consumer, but even I can tell when a song is specifically made with certain emotions in mind or is telling a particular story, aiming to get specific emotions out of the person that's listening to it. Across the Groves uses those things to its advantage, and the music changes depending on the choices you make and how they influence Alice, not just in terms of her connections, but also in terms of her appearance and the attitude she has when interacting with other characters. There are also memories that are able to alter themselves because of a specific song. And much how it is in real life, a specific song can take you back to a memory or a feeling that you had and a feeling that you thought you had or forgot about completely. Music and songs have always had an impact on our memories, some for better and others for worse. For me, one example that I can think of is when I listen to Indomitable, a song from Ruby, and it reminds me of Monty Olam's passing. I can't listen to that song without bursting into tears. But I can listen to Heavy is the Crown by Linkin Park, not only because it's from the Arcane soundtrack, but because it gets me in the mood to work out and makes me a lot happier. I already know what kinds of emotions those songs will invoke in me. In the same way, I could tell while playing Across the Grooves the way that the timeline and the emotions changed by the type of the song that was playing. It's not that difficult to figure out even if you don't have the keenest ear for music. Although I will say I didn't catch on to all the references in the game, but the developers of the game were thoughtful enough to include explanations to every record, every musician and concert mentioned. So if you're like me and you don't know a lot about this stuff and you want to find out, you can read through it bit by bit as you play the game. And finally, because this is a game about music, it also comes with a great soundtrack of itself that I really like having in the background while writing or working. Listening to that soundtrack also makes me remember how much fun I had playing this little game and how pretty it looked, how beautiful the hand-painted style looked. So in that sense, the game made its point very clear. It gives me memories that I will go back to every time I listen to the soundtrack. And this was the entire point of the game. It's meant to give you songs and music that when you listen to it, it makes you remember playing this game and possibly even going back if you want to have a different outcome. It's very clever like that. And I would definitely recommend to play this game before you listen to the soundtrack because some songs really do influence how you see this game and its characters, much how the songs themselves also influence you as the player. In the comments down below, I would love to hear any go-to soundtracks or singers that you guys have, anything that gets you in a specific mood or maybe triggers a certain memory, something that you listen to while working, studying, or maybe while you work out. I just want to know more about your music taste, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And remember, don't just consume, think.